Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Gibbs Drops the Needle. I'm Gibbs. Some sad news to report on for this episode as Jennifer Finch of L7 has passed away at the age of 59. Jennifer Finch was the bassist and co-founder of the 1990s feminist grunge band L7, and she has passed away. Finch was diagnosed with thyroid cancer in 2011 and more recently an aggressive form of brain cancer. Her bandmates shared the news of her death on Saturday, July 18th, along with a statement on Instagram calling her a, quote, beloved bandmate, friend, and fellow troublemaker, end quote. Finch was 59 years old. They would go on to tell Pitchfork, which is where I got this article from, quote, "We are shattered by the loss of our beloved bandmate, sister, and friend, Jennifer Finch, whose fierce spirit, humor, and boundless creativity helped shape L7 and changed all of our lives forever. Jennifer was a true original who lived entirely on her own terms, and the impact she made on music, art, and everyone lucky enough to know her cannot be measured. We love her beyond words and will carry her with us always. Rest in power, our dear friend. With love, L7, end quote. When Finch was initially diagnosed with brain cancer, she was advised to treat it with radiation, but as time passed, unforeseen complications resulted in her needing to undergo multiple surgeries. The severe physical limitations of those procedures required extensive medical care, leading her L7 bandmates to share a GoFundMe to cover Finch's medical expenses and home care. So now we will go through the life, career, and legacy of Jennifer Finch as we remember her. Finch was born on August 5th of 1966 and grew up in West Los Angeles. She was adopted by Robert Edward Finch and Sandra Jacobson. She took an interest in photography at an early age and attended a summer art session at Otis Parsons in 1980. At the age of 13, Finch began to take photos of her friends in Los Angeles on a camera given to her by her father. These pictures eventually documented the early punk scene that she became involved in before joining L7 in 1986. Her photography from 1979 to 1995 was on display at an LA Weekly sponsored art show at Aidan Riley Taylor Gallery in Hollywood until November 18th of 2006. The collection, called 14 and Shooting, featured a number of notable figures, including photographs of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Bad Religion, Red Cross, and the Cramps. The collection traveled to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for display in January of 2007. As for her music career, Finch began her music career in the 1980s. She played bass in the San Francisco-based band Sugar Baby Doll, or Sugar Babylon, from 1984 to 1986. The band featured Courtney Love, future founder of Hole, and future Babes in Toyland founder Kat Bayland. This lineup produced a demo recording which remains unreleased. Finch subsequently played in the short-lived Hollywood band The Pandoras, formed by bassist Gwen Kahn. In 1986, Finch joined the Los Angeles-based punk group L7. In the documentary film L7 Pretend We're Dead, bandmate Danita Sparks described Finch as persistent and stated that after Finch joined the band, her networking skills and stage energy continued to significantly boost the momentum building within the group. She remained with L7 throughout the band's most successful period in the 1990s. Finch contributed to the albums L7 in 1988, Smell the Magic in 1990, Bricks Are Heavy in 1992, and Hungry for Stink in 1994. Finch was the sole songwriter during this period for several of L7's songs, including Right On Through, Everglade, and Shirley. In 1994, Finch was featured in a music video for Hole for their breakthrough album, Live Through This, as the original bassist, Kristen Pfaff, had died of an overdose in June of that year. In 1995, after the death of her father, Finch adopted the name Precious as an homage to him. Finch officially departed L7 in 1996. Finch cited health and money issues as well as grieving over the loss of her father as reasons for her departure. After departing from L7, Finch wrote music and sang for her band, Other Star People, and Xander Smith. Other Star People completed their debut record Diamonds in the Belly of the Dog in 1998. The group were signed with A&M Records and Interscope, and the album was released in August of 1999. Joshua Clover of Spin Magazine described the Other Star People record as bringing, quote, less weight and more strangeness than Finch's old crew. It's LA slick and punky dirty, end quote. Finch founded the punk rock group The Shocker in Los Angeles in 2002. They released Up Your Ass Tray as an EP in 2003, followed by a full-length album in 2006 on Go-Kart Records. In January of 2011, Finch co-founded new band Sex and Progress along with Evie Evil of Evil Beaver. In 2014, L7 reformed with their classic lineup of Finch alongside Susie Gardner, Danita Sparks, and Dee Placus. The album Scatter the Rats was released on Blackheart Records on May 3rd of 2019 to generally favorable reviews. Finch wrote this song, Garbage Truck. As for her personal life in the early 1990s, Finch dated Nirvana's Dave Grohl. Finch resided in Culver City, California. Prior to L7's reunion, she had recovered from thyroid cancer. On May 7th of 2026, L7 announced dates for the first leg of their final tour, The Last Hurrah in 2026, starting in October. However, on July 13th, the band announced that Finch had been diagnosed with an aggressive brain cancer which prevented her from taking part in L7's final tour set to begin October of 2026. Prior to being diagnosed, Jennifer Finch was optimistic about this tour, saying, quote, L7 ain't over yet, I'm in my 50s, and we still get to be examples. She told Guitar World this last year, quote, but also we get to fail publicly in a way that we couldn't do in our 20s. I've never felt directly responsible for anyone picking up a guitar. Pick up your own fucking guitar. It's a thing you gotta do or do not. I'm very heartwarmed when particularly women say, because of you I got into politics, or I got my medical degree because of you. You know, fighting for housing rights, that's awesome. End quote. L7 celebrated their 40th anniversary last year with a special concert at the Belasco in Los Angeles. They also had plans to embark on their final Last Hurrah tour, which I had mentioned, but they were going to do so without Finch, who gave her blessing to do so after her diagnosis. As for her legacy, she will be remembered as really heading up a feminist movement. L7 were vocal champions of women's rights and the feminist movement at large, and used their platform to push for political change, including the formation of the Rock for Choice concerts in 1991. L7's biggest crossover hit was Pretend We're Dead, a deceptively sunny single that laments the political and socio-economic structures that marginalize women, which became a top 10 hit on the Billboard Modern Rock chart. So another musician taken way too soon at only 59 years old. As I always do, I send my thoughts and my prayers to her family, friends, and fans, and also her bandmates that have to work their way through this difficult time. That's all I got for you this episode. I was hoping to do something a little happier today, but as you all know, when something like this happens, it takes top priority, and rightfully so, as I try to pay my respects to those music artists that have passed. So I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope this was informative to you in a good way. If you are a fan of Jennifer Finch's, to really get through her life and career, I thought there were some very interesting things in that, such as her being in a band with Courtney Love before Hole really blew up. That was something that I did not know. I did not know that in the 90s she dated Dave Grohl. So there were a lot of interesting things in that. Again, her being such a huge activist on the feminist front is something else that I did not know. So a lot of things learned in there. I hope you enjoyed listening through. Thank you for all your support. Until next time, I'm Gibbs. This is Gibbs Drops the Needle. Stay safe and be kind.